They say 1 in 3 adults over 65 will fall at least once this year. But here's what's even more surprising. Many of those falls happen not because someone tripped, but because their legs simply weren't strong enough to hold them up. Now that might sound scary, but it's also hopeful. Because the strength in your legs isn't just about age. It's about how well you're feeding them from the inside out. You see, growing older is something we all go through. But feeling stable, walking with confidence, and enjoying your independence, that's something you can protect, even at 94. I've seen it with my own eyes. That's why in today's video, I want to walk you through 6 essential vitamins that can help keep your legs strong, your balance steady, and your freedom intact, even if you're already starting to feel a little shaky or sore. These aren't rare supplements or expensive pills. They're simple, natural nutrients your body might be quietly starving for. And once you give your legs what they need, the results can be truly amazing. So stay with me, because one of these vitamins, most people completely ignore it, is often the missing link behind weak muscles and poor coordination. You'll want to hear about that one by the end. If you're new here, this is ElderLife Wisdom, where we share simple, science-backed tips to help you stay healthy and strong in every chapter of life. If you enjoy this video, tap that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what part of your body do you wish felt stronger today? All right, let's get right into it. And we'll start with the one vitamin that acts like sunlight for your bones and muscles, because in fact, that's exactly where it comes from. You've probably heard of vitamin D before, but most people don't realize just how powerful it is, especially when it comes to keeping your legs strong after 60. This isn't just a nice-to-have vitamin. It's the one that helps your body absorb calcium, maintain bone density, and most importantly, keep your muscles working like they're supposed to. Without it, your legs can feel heavier, weaker, and more prone to giving out. There's a well-known study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism that followed older adults with low vitamin D levels. It found that those with a deficiency were nearly twice as likely to have poor muscle strength and mobility compared to those with healthy levels. That's a big difference, especially when we're talking about everyday things like climbing stairs, getting out of a chair, or walking to the kitchen without wobbling. Now, what does that mean for you? It means if you've been feeling a little less steady on your feet, or your legs tire out faster than they used to, you might not be just aging. Your body could be waving a flag, asking for more of this sunshine-powered nutrient. The easiest way to get vitamin D is through sunlight. Just 15 to 20 minutes a day can help. But here's the catch. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight into vitamin D. That's why so many older adults, even those who go outside, still end up deficient. So what can you do? Try adding more vitamin D-rich foods into your meals. Fatty fish like salmon or mackerel, fortified dairy, and eggs are excellent. But if you want something simple and powerful, here's what I suggest. Just 1 tablespoon of cod liver oil a day. That's it. It's packed with natural vitamin D. And it's something your body can actually absorb and use. I know a gentleman in his late 80s who started taking a spoon of cod liver oil every morning. After just 3 weeks, he told me, "I don't need the rail to get out of the bathtub anymore." That's the kind of change that's possible. Now let's move to something just as essential, yet often misunderstood. Because strong legs aren't just about muscles. They also need the right kind of building blocks underneath. Let's talk about calcium. So many people think calcium is just about preventing osteoporosis, but its role goes far beyond that. Calcium is the literal scaffolding of your legs. Without enough of it, your bones can become fragile and hollow, like trying to build a house on sinking sand. But here's what most folks don't realize. Even if you're eating calcium-rich foods or taking supplements, your body might not be absorbing it properly. That's why some seniors who take calcium every day still end up with weak bones or unexpected fractures. It's not just what you take in, it's what your body can actually use. Let me share something striking with you. A long-term study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed over 10,000 older adults. It found that those who had consistent, bioavailable calcium in their diets had up to 30% fewer fractures, especially in the hips and legs. That's huge, because as you know, a hip fracture after 70 can change everything. Now think about your legs carrying you every single day. Every step you take, every time you stand up, your femur, knees, and ankles are bearing your full weight. If those bones are brittle or hollowed out from calcium loss, even a small misstep can lead to a serious fall. So what can you do today? The best sources of calcium aren't always in a pill. Try adding sardines with bones, Greek yogurt, or leafy greens like collard greens to your meals. And here's one tip you may not have heard. Chew sesame seeds in the morning. They're small, natural, and packed with absorbable calcium. But, and this is crucial, don't rely on calcium alone. Without the right partner vitamins like D and K2, that calcium can drift into your joints or arteries instead of your bones. I once met a woman who took calcium for years without K2 and ended up with severe knee stiffness from calcification. We'll talk about K2 shortly, but it's a game changer. For now, just remember this. Calcium builds the strength underneath your steps. It's what gives your legs the confidence to support you not just today, but long into the future. Next, let's talk about a vitamin that's more about energy and control. Something your nerves and muscles desperately need, but often lack. Let's explore the power of vitamin B12. When you think about strong legs, you probably picture muscle and bone. But what about the nerves that control every single movement? That's where vitamin B12 quietly does its magic. And when it's missing, you'll feel it, sometimes in ways that are frustrating, even a little scary. Have you ever stood up and felt like your legs were sluggish, like they weren't quite connected to your brain? Or maybe you've noticed tingling, pins and needles, or even a weird sense of numbness. Those are classic signs that your nervous system might be running low on B12. There's a revealing study in neurology that tracked older adults with vitamin B12 deficiencies. The researchers found that those with low B12 were more likely to have poor balance, reduced walking speed, and a higher risk of falling, even if their muscles were still strong. That's because B12 helps form the protective coating around your nerves, called myelin. When it breaks down, the signals between your brain and legs don't travel properly. It's like trying to use a frayed power cord. Things just stop working the way they should. What's tricky is that B12 deficiency is incredibly common after age 60. As we age, our stomachs produce less of the acid needed to absorb it from food. So even if you're eating meat or eggs regularly, your body might not be pulling in enough. So what can you do that's easy and safe? One idea I often share is to sprinkle nutritional yeast on your food, just a spoonful a day. It has a cheesy flavor, and it's loaded with B12 in a form your body can absorb easily. You can add it to soups, stews, or even over scrambled eggs. I remember a retired teacher who came to me complaining that her legs forgot how to walk some days. We added B12 through food and a sublingual supplement. Within a month, her energy returned, her walking steadied, and her fear of falling gone. If your legs sometimes feel uncoordinated, if you're wobbling more often, or if you've had unexplained fatigue, this could be the quiet fix that makes everything click again. Now that we've covered the nerves and muscle coordination, let's make sure the calcium we talked about earlier is going where it's supposed to. Because if it's drifting into your joints instead of your bones, that's a problem. And vitamin K2 is the key to stopping it. So here's something surprising. Calcium isn't always your friend, not unless it's paired with the right guide. And that guide, that's vitamin K2. Think of it this way. Calcium is like a construction material, but without proper direction, it might end up dumped in the wrong place, like your joints or blood vessels, where it causes stiffness, pain, and even dangerous blockages. Vitamin K2 acts like a traffic officer. It tells calcium, hey, go to the bones, not the arteries, not the knees. Without K2, your body might store calcium in places that make your legs feel heavy, stiff, or swollen. There's a compelling study published in Osteoporosis International that looked at older adults who had high calcium intake but low K2. The result? They had significantly more arterial stiffness and higher risk of knee and hip issues compared to those who paired the two. And get this, people with enough K2 had stronger femur bones and better posture, even if their calcium intake was lower. That's how powerful K2 is. Now, you might be wondering, why haven't I heard of this before? Honestly, K2 is one of the most overlooked nutrients in senior health. It's not talked about as often, but it plays a critical role, especially in keeping your legs mobile and your spine upright. So where can you find it? K2 is rich in fermented foods like natto, which is a Japanese soybean dish. But let's be real, not everyone's going to enjoy that flavor. That's why I usually recommend something easier, a tablespoon of grass-fed butter or ghee each day. It's natural, gentle on the stomach, and full of K2. Add it to your toast, or cook your eggs in it. Small change, big benefit. I once worked with a gentleman who'd been dealing with achy knees and slow movement. He was taking calcium every day, but feeling worse. When we introduced K2, things turned around. The swelling eased, his legs felt lighter, and he finally said, I can bend my knees without wincing. If you've been feeling like your legs just don't move the way they used to, even though you're eating right, K2 could be the missing piece. Now let's keep the momentum going and talk about something that helps your legs relax, recover, and keep moving without those painful nighttime cramps. Magnesium. Now let's talk about magnesium, the quiet helper your legs may be crying out for, especially when you're trying to sleep at night and suddenly feel a painful cramp shoot through your calf. Sound familiar? Magnesium is like oil for your muscles. It helps them contract and relax properly, keeps your blood flowing, and reduces those annoying spasms that wake you up at 2 a.m. But more than that, it supports energy production at the cellular level. Without enough magnesium, your legs might feel tired, even when you haven't done much, and that can make everyday movement feel like a chore. There's a study published in the journal Magnesium Research that looked at older adults suffering from unexplained muscle weakness and leg fatigue. After supplementing with magnesium, many of them experienced a 40% reduction in cramps and a noticeable boost in walking endurance. That's no coincidence. Magnesium helps regulate potassium and calcium in muscle cells, making sure everything works in harmony. I've had people tell me, I thought I was just getting old. But when I started adding magnesium, I could walk farther, I slept better, and I didn't wake up stiff anymore. So where do you get it? You don't need fancy pills. A tablespoon of pumpkin seeds each day is one of the easiest, most natural ways to boost magnesium. You can sprinkle them on salads, stir them into oatmeal, or just eat them plain as a snack. Other good sources include spinach, almonds, and black beans. But for many seniors, digestion slows down, and absorption isn't always guaranteed. That's why going for a small daily dose that's easy to digest, like pumpkin seeds, is so effective. And here's something most people don't know. Magnesium also helps with circulation. That means more oxygen and nutrients flowing to your legs, keeping them energized instead of heavy and sluggish. If you've ever felt like your legs just don't want to move, magnesium could be the natural nudge they need. So we've covered muscle cramps, energy, and circulation. But there's one more vitamin that ties it all together. It's small, often forgotten, but plays a big role in how your body uses energy and fights inflammation. Let's talk about vitamin B6. Now let's turn to a small but mighty vitamin B6. It's not as flashy as D or calcium, and most people don't even know they're missing it. But for seniors, this little nutrient can make a huge difference in how your legs feel and function every single day. Vitamin B6 helps your body build neurotransmitters, those chemical messengers that allow your brain to talk to your muscles. Without it, the messages get delayed, confused, or sometimes don't get through at all. The result? Slower reactions, shakier steps, and muscles that don't quite respond the way they used to. A study from the British Journal of Nutrition found that older adults with low B6 levels were twice as likely to report leg weakness, instability, and general fatigue, even when other vitamin levels were normal. That's because B6 also helps regulate inflammation and supports the production of hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen in your blood. And, as you probably know, when your legs don't get enough oxygen, they don't move well. If you've ever noticed your legs feel weak in the morning or achy by the end of the day, low B6 might be playing a part. It's one of those things that quietly wears you down over time until you start putting it back in and suddenly realize how much better you feel. Now the good news. It's easy to get. You don't need a supplement unless your doctor recommends one. Just focus on whole foods, a banana in the morning, some grilled chicken or salmon for dinner, or even a handful of sunflower seeds as a snack. These are all simple ways to feed your nervous system and support stronger, more responsive legs. I had a client in her 70s who was struggling with restless legs and low energy. We added B6-rich foods to her meals, and within 2 weeks, she told me, "I got through the whole grocery store without stopping once." That hasn't happened in years. B6 may be small, but when it's missing, you feel it everywhere, especially in your legs. It's the final puzzle piece that brings together strength, control, and lasting endurance. Now that you know all 6, let's pull it all together and wrap up with a little inspiration, because what you do next can change everything. So now you know, the strength in your legs doesn't disappear overnight. It fades slowly, often quietly, when the body doesn't get what it needs. But here's the good news. Just as strength can fade, it can also return. With the right support, it absolutely can. Each of these 6 vitamins, D, calcium, B12, K2, magnesium, and B6, plays a unique role. They're not just nutrients. They're building blocks of balance, confidence, and independence. They're what keep you walking without fear, standing without pain, and living without limits. And the best part, you don't need a shelf full of pills or expensive treatments to get them. Just small daily habits. A spoon of cod liver oil in the morning, a few pumpkin seeds after lunch, a banana before bed. These little choices, stacked together, can lead to big changes in how your legs feel and how you move through your day. You might not notice it all at once, but one day you'll realize you walked farther, stood longer, or climbed stairs without even thinking about it. That's how it happens, with quiet, steady strength, rebuilding from the inside out. So if there's one thing I hope you take from this video, it's this. Your best steps may still be ahead of you. No matter your age, your body still listens, and it still responds when you treat it with love, consistency, and the nutrients it needs. If this video gave you something useful, something that made you pause and think, leave a comment below and tell me what part spoke to you. I'd love to hear how you're planning to take care of your legs starting today. And if you haven't already, don't forget to tap like, hit the subscribe button, and join us here at ElderLife Wisdom, where we believe growing older should never mean giving up on strength, joy, or movement. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'll see you in the next video with more ways to keep your body strong and your spirit stronger. Every 11 seconds, a senior is treated in the emergency room due to a fall. And more than half of these accidents don't happen outside. They happen right at home, in broad daylight, during ordinary steps like walking to the kitchen. It's frightening, isn't it? The ground that once felt steady now feels like a trap. But here's the truth. Falling is not a requirement of aging. It's often a sign that your body is asking for a change. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm just slowing down. That's normal, right? But what if I told you there's one simple walking habit, a small shift in the way you move, that's helping thousands of seniors stand taller, walk steadier, and stop fearing their next step? In this video, I'm going to walk you through this powerful walking trick, plus a few supportive steps you can take today to regain your stability and your confidence. We'll cover how to know if your walking style is putting you at risk, the 5 micro adjustments that can protect you, and why even your breathing might be the key to staying safe. Before we go on, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this from? Just drop your city or country in the comments. It's always heartwarming to see this community of strong, wise souls coming together across the globe. And if you find this kind of helpful guidance valuable, don't forget to subscribe to ElderLife Wisdom. It's where we share simple, practical tips to help you stay healthy, strong, and independent every single day after 60. Now let's start by looking at something most people never notice. The hidden signs that your walking style may actually be increasing your fall risk. Before we can fix the problem, we need to see it clearly. And for most people, the first warning signs are hidden right in the way they walk. You might think you're just being cautious, but certain walking patterns actually make you more likely to fall, not less. Let's take a closer look. Do you find yourself dragging your feet instead of lifting them properly? According to a study published in Gait and Posture, this is a common sign of decreased lower limb strength and is associated with a 55% higher risk of tripping over small obstacles, especially indoors. It often sneaks up as leg muscles weaken over time, especially around the hips and knees. Next, think about your posture. Do you constantly look down at your feet when you walk? It might feel safer, but research from Harvard Medical School has shown that looking down reduces your body's natural balance coordination by disrupting vestibular input. It also increases spinal misalignment and limits your ability to detect changes in flooring ahead. When your gaze is too low, your whole frame shifts forward, making you more unstable. And what about the stiffness in your stride? If your steps feel short, rushed, and tight, like you're tiptoeing, it's often a subconscious fear response. A 2021 clinical trial, published in the Journals of Gerontology, found that fear-based gait patterns increase muscle co-contraction in the legs, which reduces the body's ability to respond quickly to imbalance. That means you're actually more likely to fall if you're walking like you're afraid to fall. Even the way you use your arms matters. If your arms stay tight by your sides, or you hunch your shoulders, you're robbing yourself of your body's natural balancing mechanism. A study from the University of Michigan confirmed that arm swing is essential in preventing sideways sway, especially when walking on uneven surfaces. So here's the truth. If you relate to two or more of these habits, your current walking style is likely increasing your fall risk. But the good news is, just becoming aware of these patterns is the first step toward reversing them. Let's now shift to the good part. What a strong, stable walking style should actually feel like, and how small changes can help you move with more power and less fear. Now that you know what puts you at risk, let's focus on what helps you feel safe again. Surprisingly, walking correctly doesn't mean walking faster or longer. It means walking smarter. It's about aligning your body in a way that supports your joints, muscles, and natural balance. Let's start at the top, your head. Most people don't realize this, but when your head leans forward even just 1 inch, it adds nearly 10 pounds of extra pressure to your spine. That was confirmed in a landmark study by Dr. Kenneth Hansraj, a spine surgeon in New York. So instead of jutting your chin out, imagine a string pulling the top of your head gently upward, with your chin slightly tucked. This one adjustment instantly brings your spine into alignment. Then come your shoulders. Tension here isn't just uncomfortable. It actively restricts your range of motion. A 2019 study in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that seniors who kept their shoulders relaxed and chest open had significantly better arm swing, which is directly tied to better balance. Let your shoulders fall naturally and think of opening your chest like you're taking a deep, calming breath. It may feel strange at first, but this upper body openness sets the tone for how your whole body moves. Now, your arms. Yes, your arms play a vital role in balance. When your left leg moves forward, your right arm should swing naturally, and vice versa. This simple cross-pattern movement stabilizes your core. A 2018 experiment at the University of Waterloo demonstrated that restricting arm swing increased the likelihood of missteps and loss of equilibrium on uneven terrain. So don't stiffen your arms. Let them help you. And your feet? Each step should begin with your heel making contact. Roll through the midfoot and push off with your toes. This heel-to-toe rhythm activates the full chain of muscles in your legs. It's the kind of stride that elite balance therapists at the Mayo Clinic teach their older patients to retrain after injury. Plus, keeping your feet about hip-width apart, not too close together, not too wide, gives you a solid base with each step. Finally, your gaze. Keep your eyes focused ahead, not at your feet. Looking ahead gives your brain crucial visual cues about the path in front of you. It also straightens your posture and reduces unnecessary tension. According to a Japanese study published in Experimental Brain Research, forward gaze improves not only reaction time, but also gait consistency in adults over 65. Now, to make these new habits stick even faster, let's add a few easy exercises that will strengthen your balance and coordination from the inside out. Changing how you walk is powerful, but supporting it with the right exercises is what makes those changes stick. And no, I'm not talking about going to the gym or doing anything that leaves you sore for days. I'm talking about 5 simple movements you can do at home, even while holding onto a chair. that retrain your body to balance better and move with purpose. Let's begin with the single leg stand. Just stand behind a sturdy chair, hold on gently, and lift one foot off the ground. Try to balance on the other leg for 215 seconds. This may seem basic, but a study from the British Journal of Sports Medicine showed that older adults who practiced single leg standing daily were 43% less likely to suffer a fall within a year. Why? Because this motion strengthens stabilizer muscles in the ankles, knees, and hips, exactly what you need to stay steady during turns or stumbles. Then there's the heel-to-toe walk. Picture yourself walking on a balance beam. You place the heel of one foot directly in front of the toes of the other. Take 10 to 15 steps, slowly in a straight line. A 2020 randomized trial, published in Geriatrics and in Gerontology International, found this drill improved dynamic balance and step control, especially for seniors recovering from a fall. It trains your brain to stay centered, even on narrow or uneven ground. Next is marching in place. Sounds simple? It is. But lifting your knees up to hip height, one leg at a time, does wonders for your thighs and hips. According to research from Tufts University, this movement activates the iliopsoas muscle group, which is often underused in aging adults and plays a key role in lifting your legs during walking. Just 15-20 reps per leg can retrain your body to stop dragging your feet. Then we add heel and toe raises. Standing hip-width apart, behind a chair, lift up onto the balls of your feet, then slowly lower and lift your toes instead. This trains the calves, ankles, and foot arch, all crucial for responsive, springy steps. The Journal of Aging Research highlighted that strengthening these small foot muscles significantly reduces instability, especially during quick changes in direction. Finally, the mindful walk. This one brings everything together. Walk back and forth in a hallway, heels striking first, rolling through your foot, pushing off with your toes, arms swinging naturally. Keep your gaze forward, shoulders relaxed. Doing this for just 2 to 3 minutes each day helps your brain and body reconnect, building not just movement, but trust. The best part? You don't have to do all 5 every day. Even 1 or 2 can reawaken balance pathways in your nervous system. And the consistency, more than intensity, is what truly transforms your walk. But no matter how strong your steps become, they won't protect you if the space around you works against you. All the effort to walk better and build strength would mean little if your home quietly works against you. The truth is, most falls among seniors happen inside the house, often in rooms we feel safest in. But the real danger isn't always something dramatic. It's usually small, overlooked hazards that turn into accidents in just one misstep. Let's talk about rugs. Those cozy mats in your hallway or under the coffee table might look harmless, but if their corners curl or they slide on smooth floors, they become instant tripping traps. According to the CDC, unsecured rugs are one of the top 3 causes of falls in adults over 65. So if you love your rugs, secure them. Non-slip backing or double-sided rug tape can keep them safe without ruining your decor. Now think about lighting. Is your hallway dim at night? What about your bathroom? Poor visibility multiplies fall risk, especially during nighttime bathroom visits. Installing motion sensor night lights along the hallway, near the stairs, or in the bathroom can make a huge difference. A 2021 study from the Journal of Environmental Health confirmed that better lighting reduces nighttime falls by nearly 60%. Next, decluttering. That laundry basket you always step around, those shoes by the door, a trailing extension cord under the table. These are not minor details. They're hidden dangers. Walk through your home with a critical eye. or ask a loved one to help. Clear, wide paths, especially in high traffic areas, give your body the space to move safely, even when you're tired or carrying something. And don't underestimate support features. Installing grab bars in the shower or next to the toilet might feel like a big change, but they add a layer of safety exactly where you're most vulnerable. The same goes for handrails on stairs, on both sides if possible. These simple additions reduce fear, and when you're not moving out of worry, your steps become more confident and controlled. Finally, think about slippery surfaces. Kitchens and bathrooms are notorious for unexpected spills. Use rubber-backed mats in front of the sink and non-slip strips inside the tub. These are tiny changes that create a much safer world for your future self. And when your home starts working with you, your confidence rises with every step you take. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is simply ask for help. Yet for many older adults, that feels like admitting defeat. There's this quiet fear that needing support means you're losing your independence. But here's the truth. Asking for guidance is not giving up. It's taking charge of your safety and your freedom. Let's say you've already had a fall, or maybe just a near miss. That moment of panic sticks with you. You might start avoiding stairs, skipping walks, or clinging to walls without realizing it. But instead of shrinking your world, this is the perfect time to expand your support system. A licensed physical therapist or occupational therapist can assess your balance, your walking habits, and your specific conditions, like arthritis, osteoporosis, or even Parkinson's, and design a plan that's just right for your body. A recent review in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy found that even 4 to 60 sessions of personalized balance training significantly reduced fall risk in adults over 70. That means help doesn't have to be long-term. Sometimes, just a few guided adjustments can change everything. Professionals can also recommend assistive devices like a better cane, a rolling walker with brakes, or even custom footwear that actually make you more mobile, not less. And when you learn how to use them properly, they become tools of independence, not symbols of decline. There's also the emotional side. Many seniors feel embarrassed after a fall, and that silence creates more isolation. But a good therapist does more than teach exercises. They listen. They help you rebuild confidence, which is just as important as muscle strength. So if something doesn't feel right, whether it's your balance, your posture, or your fear, don't push through it alone. Talk to your doctor. Ask for a referral. The right help at the right time could be what gets you walking strong again. Now let's tie it all together with one powerful, but often overlooked final ingredient: the way you breathe and the way you think. You've just learned a lot about your steps, your space, your strength, and even your breath. And maybe right now, it feels like too much to change. But the truth is, you don't have to change everything. You only need to start with one thing. Maybe today, it's lifting your chin and walking just a little taller. Maybe tomorrow, it's clearing that rug in the hallway, or breathing deeply before you take your first step. Whatever it is, small steps count. And over time, they lead to something beautiful: confidence, comfort, control. You are not fragile. You are adaptive. Your body still responds, still learns, still strengthens when given the chance. And your journey doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It just needs to move forward, one thoughtful step at a time. So if this video gave you something helpful, even just one idea, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment and tell me what you're going to try this week. Your words might give someone else the courage to begin too. And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to ElderLife Wisdom. Every week, we're here to walk beside you with tips, tools, and quiet encouragement to help you stay strong, safe, and proud of the life you're building after 60. Until next time, walk tall, walk gently, and never stop moving forward. If your legs hurt after walking, even just around the block, please don't ignore it. That ache isn't just getting older. It's your body quietly asking for help. And the good news is, help doesn't have to come in a pill bottle or a doctor's office. In fact, it might already be sitting right in your kitchen. You see, many seniors live with sore, cramping, or heavy legs after walking, thinking it's just part of aging. But the truth is, your muscles may be starving, not for exercise, but for the right nutrients. Today, we're going to talk about 4 simple foods, backed by science, that can ease pain, improve strength, and help you move more freely, without spending a dime on supplements or fancy equipment. And here's the thing, the last food on this list, most older adults are eating it wrong, and that simple mistake could be costing you your independence. So don't miss this, stick with me, and if anything here resonates with your experience, let me know in the comments below. And if you find this helpful, please subscribe to ElderLife Wisdom. This channel is here to support your strength, health, and dignity at every stage. Now let's begin with a food that may look humble, but has extraordinary power when it comes to healing tired, aching legs: beets. Yes, those deep red root vegetables you might have passed by in the produce section are actually a lifeline for aging muscles. You see, one of the biggest reasons older adults experience leg pain after walking is poor circulation. When blood doesn't flow well to your legs, your muscles don't get the oxygen they need. That leads to burning, heaviness, cramping, and eventually muscle fatigue that makes simple walks feel like uphill battles. But beets are rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. This compound relaxes and widens your blood vessels, allowing more oxygen and nutrients to reach your muscles exactly when they need it most. And it's not just theory, real science backs this up. A clinical study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that older adults with circulation problems walked longer and farther after drinking beetroot juice. Another study from Wake Forest University showed beet juice could increase oxygen delivery to leg muscles by up to 20%, even in seniors with no exercise background. But that's not all. Beets are also packed with betanin, a natural anti-inflammatory that quietly helps reduce the swelling and tissue damage that chip away at muscle health over time. That means you're not just improving blood flow, you're helping your muscles recover faster and stay stronger. And it's easy to enjoy beets. You can roast them with a little olive oil, add shredded raw beets to your salad, or blend them into a smoothie. But the most effective way is just a small glass of beet juice each day. No added sugar, just pure concentrated help for your legs. I once spoke with a retired postal worker named John, 71 years old. He spent decades walking his route, but after retirement, even walking across a parking lot left him winded and sore. His daughter introduced him to beet juice. Within 10 days, John said his legs felt lighter, stronger, like they woke up. And today, beet juice is as much a part of his daily routine as brushing his teeth. So if your legs ache after a short stroll, if stairs feel like mountains, or if you're just tired of feeling tired, maybe your muscles aren't broken. They're just asking for better fuel. And beets? They're one of the purest, simplest ways to answer that call. Now let's move to the second food on our list, one that brings powerful relief by calming the hidden inflammation that may be quietly sabotaging your strength every single day. If you've ever finished a short walk and felt your legs throbbing, or if your knees seem stiff before the day even starts, there's a good chance inflammation is at play. It's not always visible. There's no swelling or redness, but deep inside, small inflammatory responses can quietly wear down your muscle fibers, slow your recovery, and make every step more difficult. That's why the second food on our list is a true healing ally: wild salmon. Most people know it's good for the heart, but not enough folks realize it's just as powerful for the legs, especially for seniors. Wild salmon is loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which are proven to reduce inflammation in muscles, joints, and blood vessels. In a landmark study published in the Journal of Clinical Lipidology, older adults who regularly consumed omega-3s reported significantly less muscle soreness and joint pain. They weren't bodybuilders, just everyday folks trying to walk, stretch, and stay mobile with less discomfort. But omega-3s don't stop at pain relief. Another study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that these healthy fats also help stimulate muscle protein synthesis, which means your body gets better at repairing and rebuilding muscle after any kind of activity, even a gentle stroll through the park. And that's not all. Salmon is also a top source of vitamin D, a nutrient many older adults are unknowingly low in. In fact, up to 50% of people over 65 may be deficient. Why does that matter? Because vitamin D supports muscle strength, balance, and bone density, all essential for steady, confident walking. I remember a woman named Martha, 69 years old, who used to avoid family walks altogether because her legs just couldn't handle it. Her doctor suggested she swap out red meat and try eating wild salmon 2 to 3 times a week. Within a few weeks, she told me with a smile, "I kept up with my grandson on our Sunday stroll, and he noticed." Now, if you're not a fan of fish, that's okay. You can still get the benefits from canned wild salmon. Toss it in a salad or mix it into a patty. Or talk to your doctor about high-quality omega-3 supplements, especially those made from fish oil or algae. The key is consistency. Your body needs a regular supply to calm the inflammation and rebuild strong, resilient muscles. So if your legs are sore, your joints feel stiff, or walking has become more of a struggle lately, salmon might be the most delicious medicine you've never tried. Up next, we'll look at a common leafy green that quietly strengthens your legs from the inside out, and it might already be sitting in your fridge. Now, let's talk about a food that's often overlooked: spinach. You might think of it as just a salad base or something to push to the side of your plate. But for aging legs, spinach is one of the most powerful tools you can add to your routine. Why? Because spinach is rich in magnesium, and magnesium is absolutely essential for muscle function. Without enough of it, your muscles can't contract properly. That leads to cramps, twitching, fatigue, and even balance problems. And here's the thing: most older adults don't get enough magnesium, especially if they're on medications like diuretics or managing health conditions like high blood pressure. One large study published in Nutrients found that low magnesium intake is directly linked to weaker leg muscles in older adults. Another from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society showed that seniors with healthy magnesium levels had fewer falls, better mobility, and greater walking endurance. That's not just encouraging, that's life-changing. But magnesium is just the beginning. Spinach is also packed with potassium, which helps prevent muscle cramping and supports faster recovery. It's high in iron, which improves oxygen transport to muscles so they can perform better. And yes, like beets, spinach contains natural nitrates, which improve blood flow to your legs and feet. In other words, spinach works on multiple levels. It reduces the pain, rebuilds the muscle, restores energy, and supports the balance you need to walk with confidence. And don't worry, it's easy to add spinach to your meals, even if you're not a salad lover. One man I spoke to, Walter, a 73-year-old former mechanic, used to say, "I never thought a green leaf would help me walk better." But he was dealing with sore calves and wobbly knees every morning until his physical therapist suggested adding spinach to his breakfast, scrambled into eggs, blended in a smoothie, or sautéed with garlic and olive oil. Within 2 weeks, the cramps faded. A month later, he was walking longer, feeling steadier, and even lifting light weights again. You can use fresh or frozen spinach. Just check sodium levels if you're watching your blood pressure. And here's a tip. Pair spinach with a bit of vitamin C, like lemon juice or bell peppers, to help your body absorb more iron and get even more out of this leafy green. So if your legs feel tired, crampy, or weak, maybe all they need is a little green support. Because spinach isn't just healthy, it's muscle medicine in disguise. Now, let's move to the fourth and final food. It's probably already in your fruit bowl, but the way you're eating it might be silently making your legs worse, not better. Let's talk about a fruit that almost every senior keeps in the kitchen: bananas. Soft, naturally sweet, easy to digest. Bananas seem like the perfect snack for older adults. And in many ways, they are. But only if eaten the right way. Here's the truth most people miss. Bananas are rich in potassium, a mineral that helps regulate muscle contractions, prevent cramping, and balance fluids in your cells. That's why bananas are often recommended to help with leg cramps. But there's a catch. Potassium can't do its job alone. It needs a partner. And that partner is magnesium. Without enough magnesium, your body can't properly absorb or use potassium. It's like having gas in the tank, but no spark to start the engine. And many older adults, especially those taking blood pressure medications or diuretics, are unknowingly low in magnesium. So when they eat a banana on its own, they're missing half the equation. The result? The cramps and soreness don't go away. And sometimes they even get worse. That's not all. Bananas are also high on the glycemic index, which means they cause a quick spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash in energy. If you eat a banana by itself, especially on an empty stomach, you might feel great for a few minutes, and then suddenly sluggish, with legs that feel heavier than before. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up bananas. You just need to pair them wisely. When combined with magnesium-rich or protein-rich foods, bananas become a leg-friendly super snack. Try this: a banana with a spoonful of almond or peanut butter, a banana sliced over Greek yogurt, a banana on whole grain toast, sprinkled with cinnamon. These combinations slow down sugar absorption, balance electrolytes, and give your muscles the fuel they need to recover and stay strong. There's a woman I remember, Grace, 67, active and full of energy, but struggling with nighttime calf cramps. She ate a banana every night before bed, thinking she was helping her legs. But the cramps kept coming. Her doctor suggested a simple change: add almond butter and a few walnuts. Within 2 weeks, she was sleeping through the night, cramp-free. The lesson here? Bananas aren't the problem, but how and when we eat them matters more than we think. Choose firm yellow bananas, not overripe, and always pair them with something that supports magnesium or protein. That way, you're not just eating a snack, you're giving your legs the tools they need to move, climb, and carry you forward without pain. So the next time your legs ache after a walk, pause. Don't just assume it's age. Don't just push through or accept it as your new normal. Because now you know better. Your legs aren't giving up on you. They are calling out for better support. And that support doesn't have to come from a pharmacy. It might already be on your plate or waiting in your fridge. A glass of beet juice, a serving of wild salmon, a handful of spinach, a banana paired with the right foods. These aren't just meals. They're messages to your body that healing is still possible. Every bite is a chance to restore strength, reduce pain, and move through life with more confidence. These small choices add up, not overnight, but day by day, until walking feels easier, stairs feel shorter, and your independence starts to return. If this message speaks to you, share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how your legs have been feeling lately. And don't forget to subscribe to ElderLife Wisdom so you never miss another tip that could change your daily life. In the next video, we'll uncover a common morning mistake that could be silently draining your strength, even if you eat all the right foods. Don't miss it, because your journey to stronger, pain-free legs is just getting started.